Canada is one of my favourite places as there is just such an abundance of information to learn about, such as the population density divide of the south and the north, the remoteness of Nunavut and its islands, or just learning about the eastern provinces of Canada as they're just so under-discussed in Australia. But one thing has caught my eye and I just can't stop thinking about it. And it has something to do with the provinces of Manitoba and Saskatchewan, particularly its border. If you live in either of these provinces, or you live in Canada in general, you may already be aware of this, but I just can't seem to get over why this section of the border isn't truly north-south. But technically when you zoom in, it does. So let's answer the question. Why does Saskatchewan and Manitoba have such a strange border relationship with each other? Well, in the late 1800s, when Western Canada was starting to be settled, the federal government launched the Dominion Land Survey, or DLS. And its goals were simple: divide the land into small squares so that each town, farm, or railway can be organised efficiently. And each square was called a township, which was 6 miles by 6 miles in area. The grid used latitude lines running east to west and longitude lines running north to south. But there's just one problem. Longitude lines aren't parallel, as they all squeeze together and converge at the north and south poles. This means that the top of each square was slightly more narrow than the bottom side, and the townships would shrink more and more as you went further north. And so surveyors added these corrections where every 24 miles they would shift just a little bit west. This in turn would lead the border to look like a set of really thin stairs. So then this begs the question, why does the Alberta side of Saskatchewan have a completely north-south border? Well, it runs along the 110th meridian west, which is one of the reset points in the survey system. And because the grid realigns there, the border stays perfectly straight. So the Manitoba-Saskatchewan border isn't crooked by accident. I guess that you could just say it's a dated solution in a modern world. I found most of this information on a Reddit thread talking about this border from EffectiveArm8513, so shout out to him. And that's the story of the Saskatchewan-Manitoba border. Let me know what you thought of today's video. Like this video if you spoke into a microphone today. Thank you very much for watching and follow to learn something new every single day.